Well, as if a gas explosion and a terrorist attack weren't enough, they want us to believe that a car ploughs into pedestrians outside a London pub. Yes, it does in fact seem like the elites are going after that all-important car ban. Um, hey, maybe they're actually fishing for us to say, okay, let's just have Google control all the cars, and that's, for our own safety. Hey, that actually sounds quite realistic, if you ask me. Uh, Two knives, and again, two knives. It's two knives here, two knives there. Every fucker is a Jimmy Two Knives in these hoaxes. They really are. Jimmy Two Knives. Now, the story here is that four teenagers um, carrying knives. Well, we actually don't know about whether all this hasn't actually been established yet. This is just something that the news is telling us, by the way, and they go on to point out that it's not been established at all. So these four teenagers, they've been arrested after they drove a car into pedestrians on a busy London road, injuring at least three people. So we've got three people injured. How fast was the car going that it ploughed into them, but only injured three people? I'm trying to envisage that scenario. How fast it must have been going. Not very fast, clearly. A woman and two men were rushed to hospital. The occupants of the car fled on foot. Why would they? Why? They clearly weren't going very fast because they only injured three people. And they got out of the car after having committed the crime, apparently, and fled on foot. That doesn't make any sense either. And the police said that a knife was spotted lying in the street and another blade found inside the car. So we've got the two knives scenario. And then they later told us that four males were arrested on suspicion of offences including GBH. Yeah, maybe drinking GBH. Shocked eyewitnesses took to Twitter to describe the carnage. This is how we're confirming things now for the media. We're confirming things by going on Twitter. But I want to just point out that they're saying these are eyewitnesses. Now, eyewitnesses, to me, when you're talking about an event, and then you say these eyewitnesses, you're talking about eyewitnesses of the event, not of anything after the event, really. So here, Jade Barlow, that's a really nice made-up name, I think. It's all kicking off on Essex Road, Islington. A handful of casualties and a very large knife. So that's not somebody that's just seen a car accident or a car incident. That's somebody that is, giving you these two pieces of information, neither of which talks about a car. An abandoned knife and a handful of mowed down casualties. Is that what they went on to say? That's because we're not made clear here, really. I mean, that's more than the amount of characters that you can use for Twitter, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know if they're saying that this was in a separate tweet or what. Zora Suleiman, because, you got to trust those sort of Jewish-sounding names. Several people injured after a car struck several people 7-7 on Essex Road in Islington. So that's already been proven wrong as it goes. Several people injured because there's only three, according to this. And, I guess, is several anything more than three? I would say it struck a few. That would be more accurate. Several, I would say, was seven or more. Seven or more. Police, paramedics and National Air Service were sent to the scene. Of course they were. Everyone was sent. Now, what I would like to say about this is that, all this stuff, this isn't the regular news cycle. This isn't normal every day. This doesn't happen every day, every weekend. This is silly, pretend stuff that they're putting on for a show. And I think it's related to the largesse, perhaps, of some constellations, sort of some planets, such as Satan, Venus, popping up in this month. And this being Women's Month, they say, I think these things are somehow related. Because don't forget, we've seen the woman under the bus in the terrorist attack, so-called terrorist attack. That's a classic metaphor, isn't it? So, if your eyes are open to these things, then you have to look at what they're saying to you, and of what it means, and of what they're saying to you. And like, I forget the guy's name, but he made a very good point that they are doing it to make a point. They're doing it to show us, anyone that's capable of seeing, that, they're in charge of these masses. And they are. I suppose that's fair. Because the masses just go along with what they do. So, they won't be telling you about the situation at all in schools or colleges. They won't be allowing that to go on. I don't want to blab on all day, so I'm going to end it there.